Now, here's your Storm Tracker weather forecast with Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire.
Good evening, everybody. We're going to start off tonight with this picture from Mark Gale. We're at Norm's Island on the Yellowstone River. This was sunrise this morning, and boy, kind of a pretty picture, huh? Look at how still that water was, huh? Look at it. It's still water, yeah. Anyway, let's move on and show you. Here's another picture. I like this. Came to us from Nina Kruger. This is near Forsyth, about a few miles north of Forsyth. Had some big towering cumulus clouds in the background with an old barn in the foreground. Just kind of a cool looking shot. That's what we had a few days ago, some of those big thunderstorms popping out. Meanwhile, here's the way things are shaping up Billings right now. Hey, partly cloudy skies. It's 76 degrees, and as you see, really not a bad night at all for us. Our high temperature is 89 today, so it was a little toasty. Normal high this time of year is 80, so we're a little warmer than that. The record 104 back in 1988. That was the year of all the Yellowstone fires, and the record low was 43 back in 1960. And when it comes to precipitation, nothing new to add to the total. So here's the way off the month: 2.5 inches. We're a little bit ahead of normal. Here's your 30-year average for this time of year, 171. And so for the year, we're at 595. Need to be at 727 to be caught up the 30-year average for our annual precipitation total. So we're a little bit behind in that department. At least we're ahead of normal for the month of June, though. Meanwhile, as you'll see, our current temps are into the 60s and 70s out in the west, 60s to 70s across the High Line. Here in eastern Montana, mostly into the 70s, 76 at Billings, 78 for the hot spot over at Helena right now. Northern Wyoming into the 60s and 70s there. And as you'll see, our reported highs today, look at how toasty it was. Look at all those 80s out in the west. Across the High Line over here, Glasgow and Jordan actually topped out at 90 degrees. Billings and Glendive both got close to that, 89 degrees. We were in the 80s in northern Wyoming as well. Meanwhile, let's move on and show you what we have for tomorrow. Yeah, marginal risk of severe thunderstorms starting here in the southwest corner of the state. We think that stuff will spread into the central part of Montana. Billings, we're close enough to it. We might be in the fray before the day is over with, so don't be surprised if you see some afternoon splash and dash thunderstorms. Some of those may be borderline severe. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Meanwhile, here's what's going to happen tonight. Doppler radar shows you and satellite imagery shows you a few high clouds tracking across the northeast corner of the state. That's because that's where our jet stream is streaming in tonight, right through here, and continues to dip way down in towards the Mississippi Valley and produce some more heavy showers of thunderstorms from the Gulf of Mexico all the way to the east coast and wrapping around in towards the Great Lakes state. So they're seeing some heavier showers of thunderstorms there. But for us, look at this. We got a new batch of moisture moving into the Great Basin area. That's going to eventually push up this way. And also back here, some moisture streaming on shore into Alberta and also British Columbia. That stuff's all going to come together tomorrow. But you're looking at high pressure today, kind of cleared out the skies. Tomorrow morning, a little bit of that high pressure goes a long way. But then by Wednesday afternoon, here comes some of that moisture from the Great Basin area, producing some scattered thunder showers right through here into the central part of the state. Then by the time Thursday gets here, that whole cold front pushes on through. You'll see some storms kind of fire up in Wyoming and track across the state line there. In the meantime, tonight our temps will cool back down to the 40s and 50s out in the west, 60s across the High Line back here with mostly clear skies in eastern Montana. Billings will be about 60 tonight, 58 over Miles City, 58 degrees over in Hardin. Then for tomorrow, we're back up into the 80s, and look at some of the 90s. Billings, also Hardin and Roundup all getting into the low 90s, 94 at Broadus and Miles City tomorrow as well. Out in the far west, 70s and 80s out there with mostly sunny skies. For Billings tonight, mostly clearing back down to 60. Next 7 days, well, they'll look like this. We'll wind up with 92 degrees on Wednesday with a good chance of rain late in the day. Good chance for showers off and on throughout Thursday, 76 degrees, 84 on Friday, sunny skies, back to the 90s on Saturday, and then a cold front moves through and cools us back down into the 70s on Sunday through Tuesday with a chance of rain each day. Let's go back to Russ.